What's going on, everybody? Today I'm gonna talk about your discovery calls and that first part of your discovery call, which is related to your problem analysis, because that is the biggest problem what I see. So I'm not talking about cold calling, I'm talking about the first meeting. This can be done face to face through a video or a phone call. It should last about 30 to 40 minutes. It's your initial discovery call. If somebody asks you on your website how much will this mobile app cost, you need to get them on the call. You can't just email them the price. So the first thing you want to do is to have some sort of chit chat. You call somebody and you're like, hey, how are you, good to see you, blah blah blah, and you just ask them maybe one question or two, like just basic question like how's the weather or something, like it's pretty nice here, but don't talk about it for forever, because I know some guys who talk like 10 minutes about the weather and then it's nothing. So spend maybe 30 seconds on that and then quickly take control of the conversation. How you do that is as following. You say, hey, thank you very much for stopping by. By the way, what I would like to do is to kind of introduce myself to you, tell you about our company briefly, and then maybe learn more about what you guys do and what sort of project are we talking about. Sounds good? And then they say, yeah, sure. And then you go. That's how you take the control, okay? You ask for the permission. And that's the second step now. You have a short intro. But the intro has to be really short. Many companies spend minutes on this kind of useless introduction of like, because there are multiple people on the call sometimes. So this is Wojciech, he runs this is this. Like, nobody cares, just talk to me. Like, just get straight to the point. So intro should be short and sweet. It should relate to them. So if you start talking about maybe your case studies or use cases, pick use cases which are relevant. So for me, it would be something like, hey, for the past 3 years, I've been running a marketing agency doing B2B lead generation for software houses from the CEE region, because I noticed that many of them have big problems generating leads, and that's what we're doing. Many companies that work with us are from Poland, Czech Republic, Hungary, Slovakia, Israel, and all over the place. We are focusing mostly on the US. Now, and that's how I would end it, okay? I wouldn't go further because it's too much to talk about that. If you run, let's say, mobile app development, and you got the meeting because of a cold email which mentioned the case study, make sure you mention that in the beginning in your intro, something like, hey, we're a mobile app development company from Germany, we have over 40 people, we've been doing it for the past 5 years, built many applications, very successful ones with millions of downloads, and what I emailed you about was the application for blah 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 blah, right, the specific case. And I can talk more about it, but definitely I'd like to learn more about you. And this is where you end it. 30 seconds, no more. 30 seconds, okay? The way I like to phrase this next question is kind of like basic research that you already know. So something like, so tell me more about your company and especially your position in it. That's the first question after this intro. And they start saying, okay, I'm the founder, company was founded in 2016, blah, blah, blah. I'm responsible for sales and marketing, for development, I don't know. Talk. And then ask some other very soft qualifying questions, something like, how big is the company? How many salespeople do you guys have? That's what I would ask, okay? You take it with your questions. So maybe the question I would ask is, so how much funding do you guys have if you're a startup? Have you raised money? How much have you raised? How big is your development team? Do you have a CTO? Have you ever outsourced before? All these questions are kind of softball questions, and you can get basic qualification right. Yeah, I can ask, what's your hourly rate? Okay, that's a good question. So all these questions are kind of giving me some bullet points into the conversation. And once I'm done with this, maybe I'll ask them 4 or 5 slow, kind of easy questions, which I would figure out from looking at their website. But it's to get them talking, okay? Hear me out. The point is to get them talking. They're not gonna open up to you if they didn't do the talking, because up until this part they haven't been speaking that much. You've been talking in the intro, right? So you have to let them speak. And this is how they talk. This is how they open up. Now, once you get the basic criteria and you see, okay, let's do it, you come into the problem analysis. The problem analysis is simple. You need to find a problem. Basically, the way you should think about sales is if you talk about the price in the beginning, or if you talk about the end goal, the end project in the beginning, you are perceived as transactional, because everybody can do that. So we're looking for 5 developers, give us a quote. Okay, 5 developers, this is our hourly rate, here we go. We don't even have to speak. You didn't create value in the conversation. The way you create value in the conversation and you remove the pricing is by creating problems or uncovering issues in their organizations or growth goals. So now, here you have to become a master salesperson. This takes years to practice. So this is not easy, but you have to start right now. So now you either need to discover a problem or find their goal into the future. I always like to start with a problem, because if there's a clear problem, that gives us a reason for the follow-up conversation, which then I can lock in on that first call. If there's no problem, it's very hard. So let's start with the problem. How do you do that? You can either find problem by uncovering issues. The way you do that is simply, like me, by questioning them. So say they want lead generation, okay? And so I'll ask them, okay, tell me, how many leads do you get per month right now? And they'll say 10. Okay, what channels are you using to generate those leads? Where are they coming from? So now we're going deeper, and they say, we use cold email, we use this, and we use this. Okay, so you have your own team doing cold email. How many people are doing it? Okay, we have 2 people doing cold email. All right, and so tell me about how many emails do they send per day? And this is where they break, because they say, oh, we send like 1,000 of emails per day. Now tell me about your open rate, because I'm pretty sure that if you send 1,000 emails a day, you're banned from Google and everything else. So what's your open rate like? Oh yeah, we do have problems with the open rate. We're getting in spam and stuff like that. That's a problem. That's your bullet. Okay, open rate is one problem. Okay, what about the response rate? Are you getting any responses? Are you generating like really good leads, or are you generating like something different? Yeah, we have problem there as well. Now you've kind of have the surface level problem. Problem with the open rate, maybe responses, the emails are not written properly. That's for me, okay? Now you have to kind of dig deeper, and you have to make them think. If you discovered something, you have to make them think, why is that a problem? So I can ask him, okay, so if this problem has been reoccurring, why haven't you solved it? Well, we just, we weren't sure what to do or how to fix it. Okay. So now you understand their reasoning. And then I can ask them, okay, so how do you plan to fix it? And they say, oh, well, that's why I'm talking to you. Okay, great. Or they can say, well, I don't know, we're buying a new domain or something where they have no idea what to do. I say, okay. And then you have to kind of attach monetary value to it. So if you established a price per lead, let's say, in the previous conversation, so I assume that, okay, what's your average sales cycle? What's your average deal? It's 100K. Let's assume you generate 10 leads a month. So each lead is worth to you, I don't know what, 300 euros. So how many leads are you missing because of this bad process? How much money are you leaving on the table each month? It's a couple of thousands, right? And then they say, yeah, it's logical, what I've just described. And that's the end. That's the problem analysis, right? We have the problem. We've discovered what do they think is the solution. Why do they think it is? And then we attach the monetary value to it. Then we can start talking about ourselves. And now the price no longer matters because the problem is quantified in kind of a larger number. Now, let's assume they don't want to share their problem. Okay, some people don't want to share their problems and they don't want to talk to you that much, majority of people. What do you do then? Well, you have to go through their growth goals. This can relate to a product or service or whatever. So you can say something like, okay, so tell me about 2020. What are your goals on your product roadmap if you're selling development? Okay, we want to do this. Okay, tell me, why haven't you done it already? What's been the biggest bottleneck in your process there? Oh, we don't have a capacity right now. All right. And so how do you plan to fix that if you don't have a capacity? I know we're talking about external developers now, but have you tried hiring in-house, or what seems to be an issue? And then they say, oh, we just can't find really good developers in this technology, in this in our market. So that's why we're talking to you. Okay, that's great. And so let's talk about your budget. So you have investors kind of pressuring you, I assume, into launching this product. How much money are you losing each month if you don't solve this problem? Okay, now because they have a certain budget, let's say they raised $1 million, they have to get to the market quickly. And if they, keep staying in that bottleneck, is not gonna happen. So they must hire other in-house, or they must hire external developers. And so now you can phrase it like that, where you're not talking about the gain, so how much is a lead worth. You're also going to talk about the timing and how it relates to the funding they have. So they have to solve it right now. So do you agree with me that you have to solve it right now? This is an urgent need. Yes. Okay. And then you can jump into your process. So this was just an example, guys. There's a ton of specialties and different approaches into the problem analysis. This was just an example for you that you can kind of take and maybe make your own. I haven't finished the entire discovery call because there are so many parts to it after the problem analysis. But the problem analysis is the core of this. Because if you don't discover a problem or a growth goal in this part, you can't move to the other part. You can't talk about the pricing because you become transactional. You have no control of the sales process. Okay, you want to control the entire sales process so that you can predict your revenue. Blah blah blah. The way you do that is you discover this. Make sure you discover it. Make sure you go deep. Make sure you ask follow-up questions. That's how you do it. It's very hard. It takes years, and you just have to practice. You can't be scared to lose a deal. You can't be, you have to question them. I hope it helped you. Let me know what you think in the comments below if this was helpful. If not, then I'm sorry. But if yes, let me know, and maybe I can put together like a paper where you can download this or something. Thank you very much. This was Jan, and hey, everybody has time to create content on YouTube. It's 8 a.m. in Prague right now. I'm creating this content. So hey, no excuses. Go after it. Thanks. See ya.